Throughout history, the U.S. military has been involved in countless war crimes, purposely supporting or ignoring the injuring and killing of innocent civilians in nearly every war fought by the country. In 1898, during the Spanish-American War, America's occupation of the Philippines was largely objected by its citizens. The people wanted liberation, not a new imperial power in their country. The situation escalated on September 28, 1901, when people of the small village of Balingiga attacked the 9th U.S. Infantry stationed near the area, killing 48. Although 150 of the Filipino villagers were killed, American troops retaliated the next day and burned the village to the ground. However, General Jacob H. Smith wanted to punish the civilian population, ordering his troops, "I want no prisoners. I wish you to kill and burn. The more you kill and burn, the better you will please me." He also ordered that anyone capable of bearing arms must be executed. With the age limit being over 10 years old, it is estimated that more people were killed in America's 15 years of occupation than the 300-year colonization by the Spanish. Only General Jacob and 2 of his men were ever tried and court-martialed. On July 1950, fearing infiltration by spies, U.S. commanding forces ordered that no civilians are allowed across the battle line. The same day, up to 400 refugees gathered near a bridge by the village No Gunri. American forces then indiscriminately massacred all of them, with the U.S. denying that any soldiers were even in the area. Testimonies from both soldiers and survivors have revealed details from that day. With one soldier recalling a lieutenant screaming like a madman, "Fire on everything, kill them all." This was only the first in many similar massacres in Korea that have been discovered in recent years. There have been no justice for these victims, as the only person to be held somewhat responsible is Captain Ernest Medina, who was court-martialed for different war crimes but later acquitted. Around March 16, 1968, one of the most infamous war crimes of U.S. history occurred. Although there were no signs of enemy troops in the village, soldiers were ordered to enter the village firing. American forces then opened fire on the unarmed villagers, with most being women, children, and elders. It is estimated that around 300 civilians were killed in those few hours. The U.S. government then tried to cover up and downplay the event, but failed when witness Ron Rittenhour contacted a journalist after not receiving an answer from several congressmen, chief of staff, the State Department, the Pentagon, and President Nixon. Only 14 people were ever charged for crimes related to the event, including Captain Ernest Medina. All were acquitted except Lieutenant William L. Calley, who received life in prison. His time was later shortened and he served 3.5 years house arrest. Sadly, this behavior was common in Vietnam, with Colonel Orrin Henderson saying, "Every unit of brigade size has its My Lai hidden somewhere." From October to December of 2003, American soldiers with very little experience of running a prison performed shockingly sadistic acts on those who they were supposed to be guarding. Many detainees were humiliated, tortured, raped, sodomized, and killed by the guards. Detainees were forced to commit sexual acts to one another, strung up in embarrassing and painful positions for hours or days, and some may have been beaten to death. Although there were similar activities happening in other Iraqi and Afghani prisons, this became a large scandal mostly because of photographic evidence. 11 soldiers were tried only to be fined, demoted, discharged, or serving short terms in prison, with the most being 6 years. Still, many soldiers and private contractors allegedly involved have never been tried. The military's behavior has not changed in recent years. On July 12, 2007, 2 Apache helicopters recorded the shooting of civilians. While there were about 2 men with AKs there, the civilians were gathering peacefully. Perhaps more disturbing is the amount of anticipation the soldiers had to shoot and the lack of any remorse.
You're clear. Let me know when you have it.
We'll shoot. Light them all up.
202 traffic, 260s.
Come on, fire.
Hey, Roger. Keep shoot. Keep shoot.
Bushmaster 2-6, Bushmaster 2-6. We need to move time now.
Alright, we just engaged all 8 individuals.
Yeah, we got 2 birds. We're still firing.
Roger.
Got him.
6 is a 2-6. We'll move, but we got 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was done.
Bypass.
God damn it, Kyle.
Alright. I hit my head. Master Crazy Horse, we have individuals going to the scene. Looks like possibly picking up bodies and weapons.
Let me engage.
Hey, we need to stop that so we can get down there.
Hey, shoot.
You see my location?
Roger. Break. Crazy Horse 1-8. Request permission to engage individual.
I'm picking up the wounded. Yeah, we're trying to get permission to engage. Come on, let us shoot.
A Bushmaster Crazy Horse 1-8.
We're taking him.
Bushmaster Crazy Horse 1-8.
It's Bushmaster 7, go ahead.
Roger, we have a black SUV or bongo truck picking up the body.
Bushmaster 7, Roger. This is Bushmaster 7, Roger, engage.
1-8, engage. Clear.
Come on.
Clear. Clear.
We're engaged.
Coming around, clear. Crazy Horse 1-8 will be setting up north to south, engaging with Hellfire. Roger. Break. Crazy Horse 1-8. Request permission to engage individual.
I'm picking up the wounded. Yeah, we're trying to get permission to engage. Come on, let us shoot.
A Bushmaster Crazy Horse 1-8.
Roger, that's a negative on evac the 2 civilian kids to Rusty. They're going to have the IPs link up with us over here, break. And IPs will take them to a local hospital, over.
That's a good copy, over.
Roger that. Lights out.
Oh, it's their fault for bringing their kids to a battle.
That's right.
These atrocities should not and cannot be tolerated. It may be too late for many crimes, but we can't let the slaughtering of innocent people go unpunished or unheard of. Therefore, to stop or at least reduce war crimes, there has to be an actual punishment for those involved, from soldiers to the high. No one should be absolved of their crimes so easily, and we the people have to ensure that there is justice.